Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is the review of the month ahead spread for April and pulling in some of the details of the draws throughout last month. So, this was the spread we had for the month of April. We had the Nine of Cups for what we leave behind. We had the Lady or the Empress for what we take forward. We had the Six of Pentacles for the external focus. We had the Hermit for the inner focus. And we had the Queen of Pentacles for the general energy of the month. So, just a quick recap. What we leave behind, the Nine of Cups. This was more perhaps, this was the hardest one to get the meaning of what we leave behind, because this is about contentment, being satisfied, and why would you want to leave that behind? But I don't think I think it's in the sense of, is what we're hoping and wishing for really going to be what satisfies us? Maybe we need to examine what we are aspiring to, and will it really bring us that satisfaction that we're seeking, or is it what we feel? Is it what we think, or what we feel that other people tell us will bring us happiness? But is it really true to what we really want? So maybe it's discerning and leaving behind certain wishes and dreams that aren't really our dreams and are not really ours. They're not really suitable for us, not right for us, and to have the dreams that we really do connect with in a true sense. So, and also, I think the aspect of where he's on his own here, there's a sense of, yes, it's okay to be comfortable in your own skin, and also to not be too dependent on others, and to be happy in yourself and by yourself. But there comes a point where that can be taken too far and becomes you become too isolated. So maybe that's what we leave behind, a sense of isolation, and we find we can become familiar and comfortable with that, and we may feel that being isolated, we may feel some kind of familiarity and comfort from that, but is it really good for us? Maybe we need to reassess that and be open to connecting once again with other people where possible. So, taking forward the energy of the Empress, about fertility, abundance, creative energy, and last month was certainly about connecting with and using creative energy. So that's what we're taking in, and that's what a lot of the daily readings were about, that too. The external focus, we had the Six of Pentacles, which is about giving and receiving and being open to help where necessary. Receive the help we need, perhaps from external sources where necessary. Don't be afraid to ask if it's there. If the help is there, reach out to it. Don't be like the Five of Pentacles, where they're wandering outside when the help is there, but they don't make use of it. This Six of Pentacles is the progression of actually receiving the help that we need. There may be help there that we need to reach out for practical things in order to be able to do what we need to do. The inner focus was the Hermit, which goes slightly against what I was saying here about the isolationism, because the Hermit withdraws, but there's a difference. The Hermit withdraws for a strategic time, to spend time with himself, to gain to commune with himself, to find that guidance and illumination within that then he can apply when he goes back out into the world. So it's a sense of he's not seeking it to be isolated. He's making a strategic withdrawal to gain the guidance and reconnect with himself in a way that he needs to move forward. So it has a purpose. It's not permanent necessarily. It's for a time, and also he has a companion. It may not be a human companion, but he's not totally alone in that. So, and then we have the general energy of the month, which was the Queen of Pentacles, which was about creating and getting into the rhythm of your creativity. And she's there with the drum, and I think that's getting into the rhythm of your own individuality and creating the life practically as well as spiritually, using the skills and abilities you have to create what you want to create in your life and make it a reality. And that ties in with the Empress. So that was really the general meanings for the spread. And a lot of the readings were about, during April, were tying in with how we would create the things we need to do, being in touch with our inner selves, being true to ourselves. And normally at this stage, what I do is do an assessment of the elements of the readings in the sense of like the suits. So, how many times did we draw, say, a sword card or a cup card, etc.? So which elements of the tarot deck were prominent during the month? So we drew a sword card 5 times, a cups card 4 times, a wands card 8 times, and a pentacle card 4 times. So of the minors, the wands were the prominent suit, which would match with the creative energy that we were talking about. And the major cards, we drew a major card 9 times, which was 1 more than the wands. So the majors and the wands were tying the overarching spiritual lessons and dynamics and tying it to our creative energy. And I believe that really ties in well with the spread that we have here. Also, I normally point out if we had any of these cards that were in the month ahead spread, did they come out in the daily readings? And three of them did come out in the daily readings. Funnily enough, we had the 9 of Cups twice. That one came out. We had the Lady or the Empress came out once, and the general energy of the month card, the Queen of Pentacles, that also came out once. So we had 3 of these cards. So a majority of the spread came out actually in the daily readings as well. So to emphasize that. So make of that what you will. I don't think there's too great significance in that, but it's just interesting that it does tie in the daily readings somehow to the spread, and the spread does connect in some ways, sometimes more than some other months. So if we didn't have any of these cards come out in the spread, does that make the spread meaningless? No, of course not. And it doesn't mean that the draws don't fit the reading of the month ahead spread, because we may not actually get the actual cards, but the cards we actually get may still carry some of the themes that these cards depict as well. So and I'm just looking at the list of what we had here. I mean, a card that came out at least a couple of times was the Ace of Wands, and if you remember a couple of the readings where you have the it's like a deer on one side, on a cliff on one side with a gap, another cliff, and the wand in the middle where the gap is going up towards the sun. And they're saying that they'll create it, what we're creating is the bridge between where we are now and where we want to be, and the abundance that we want to have in our lives. And that's basically, to me, sums up the whole thing of the month about creating what we will need to create to take us from where we are now to where we want to be. And so that, and what I'm saying is that the Ace of Wands would tie in with this creative energy sort of aspect of it. Even if it wasn't in the month ahead spread, and that card in particular, there is a connection between the general overarching meaning. So, but we did this month, interestingly, have 3 of the 5 cards come out during the month. And I think that's about it. It was really about our creative energy and what we want to create, and making sure it's true to ourselves, and will really bring the growth that we seek and need in our lives. And I'm trying to look if there's any more cards that came out. We did have, in the Oracle card, we had the Rest card, came out a few times, which means that to remember it's important to renew ourselves, to take a rest, to do some self-care. In the midst of all this creating, we need to keep our energy up there. So that means getting rest. We can't be doing it all the time. As committed as we are, we need to have periods of rest in order to keep that going. But I think that's it. I think looking at it, I think that's the main thing of the spread. It was all about our creative energy. It was being clear about our creative energy, and making sure that what we want to create is what we need to be created, and not what we think we should create in our lives, but what's true to ourselves and not what's imposed upon us. And also to get help where necessary, not to be isolationist, not to cut ourselves off from people unnecessarily, and yes, to have times of rest, and also times to draw aside, to get in touch with ourselves, to listen to our inner voice, to get the guidance that we need. But that's with a sense of purpose, and then we can get back out there creating what we need to create. So I think that was the message from the draws and from the month ahead spread. So that's it. That's a summation looking back. And the next step, of course, is to do the month ahead spread for April. But that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.